Ladies and gentlemen, the President French Emmanuel Macron wants to push the President Vladimir Putin to shave completely, but I say completely France. Yes, the new decision, the last decision he has just made, he wants to push Putin to finish once and for all of France. This is a dangerous provocation to which he has just delivered. Where Donald Trump himself has walked backwards from Russia, we talked about it earlier. Donald Trump has made a U-turn spectacular. He decided to cancel, to abandon the very idea. He said he gives up the idea of delivering Thomas missiles hook to Ukraine, where the first world power has given up. That's where France takes precedence over those who have nothing, who has no means. France does not have money, has nothing. It's because of that governments resign in cascade. The prime ministers that done like that, it's worth it. There are transplants at any time. This is where France. Emmanuel Macron, who didn't understand anything, decides to deliver new ones, new categories of weapons for Ukraine. And even knowing if Macron can hold this, since this announcement that he has just made to do, he had made this announcement last year, but nothing. Young ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this geopolitical conference dedicated to world news. So the framework of this conference is to this news that we are going to talk about. But before you continue, share the conference at most in all group as long as you can. Put lots of likes, and especially if it is your first time stumbling upon my conference, click on the button subscribe. Subscribe. It will allow you to never miss the news again, the hottest of the moment. Here, let's go deep. Let's go. Emmanuel Macron has decided to deliver heavy weapons in Kiev. This is the leap into confrontation direct. He accepts to throw oneself into the void to go confront Russia. He made the official announcement. Macron has confirmed the imminent delivery of Mirage 2000 and Aster 30 missiles to Ukraine. The Mirage 2000s are extremely powerful missiles and dangerous. He promised that in 2024. Then they said, well, in early 2025, we will deliver since France does not have had the means to do this. 2025 has become worse than 2024. France still has no means. The proof, until now, France has not still voted, adopted its 2026 budget for lack of money. But it is there Macron jumps to say he will deliver the Mirages 2000, which are extremely expensive, that he will deliver them more Aster 30 missiles to Ukraine. And so these weapons, according to him, will allow Kiev to strike further. It is he who said that these weapons will allow Kiev to strike further into Russian border areas. So it means that he becomes a co-belligerent. France becomes co-obliging. France becomes a party to the conflict. And so what is the scope of these Mirages? The Mirages 2000 can reach targets at more than 1,000 kilometers. So they are young people brothers of the Tomahawk 1,000 kilometer missiles, while the Aster 30 constitute one of the most anti-aircraft systems powerful in Europe. So the Aster 30, these are defense systems aerial. So he didn't stop there. I tell you, Emmanuel Macron is in a real provocation. What does Emmanuel Macron say that he will take care of personally? That is to say, France will take care of personally from the training of Ukrainian soldiers in Ukraine. That is, he will send people to Ukraine to train Ukrainians on handling the Mirage 2000 and then on other things. So France will directly train the Ukrainian pilots, taking a further step towards co-belligerence. So Macron no longer supports Kiev. He engages France in the war. This is what that means. It's no longer a support. It is his country's commitment to the war. And so what is the calculation? Policy. What Macron is doing, who is it? Pushes to start putting France in the lion's den. The calculation, what is politics? He wants to appear before Washington. Macron wants to become central again, the central element on the European side regarding the situation in Ukraine. So Paris seeks to exist in a war where everything is played out between Trump and Vladimir Putin. He wants to look for exist. Everything that Paris aims for there. These are the negotiations. When the negotiations will take place, it is necessary that France has it for her, because there is rare metals in Ukraine that the French military industry has need, and there is money in Ukraine. When we talk about reconstruction of Ukraine, France must have the biggest contracts. And this reconstruction will be financed by whom? By contributions, as they say, in Guinea-Best, different contributions. So it wants to have something. And so Emmanuel Macron wants to recall that France remains a power, European military a power which has nothing left in its coffers. Is it that it is a power? Then the problem is that his choice is the choice what Macron just did. He is isolated in his choice. It is isolated because even if the meeting of the coalition of the willing was held in Berlin, Rome, and Madrid, observe with caution. Yeah, no one wants to take the risk of a direct clash with Russia. They prefer to continue delivering and etc. Even in their famous plan of 12 points, they don't really have displayed their intention to ensure that the confrontation be direct with Russia. So what is the overall risk of this last decision of Emmanuel Macron? It's only France that is exposed. France is exposed, and therefore the West is threatened. So strategically, Moscow can strike France without cross NATO territory strategically, because all that France will send Moscow to Ukraine will strike. All that is good about France's NATO in Ukraine, Moscow will strike. And there, in this case, Moscow has strategically struck France without touch NATO territory. And so the Russian submarines who are in the Mediterranean are already in position. We will come back to this later, his statement there, what Russia has started preparing. And so militarily, Russia is testing new generations of missiles hypersonics that are ready to bypass any Aster system. So the system he wants to offer to Ukraine, it won't do any good. So ladies and gentlemen, that was the front page of the news. I'll come back to you with some news. It was the voice of your humble servant, the Samouraï.